Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. We are back to the little sitting on the bed setup. I was setting up and I forgot what I was doing. I was like, does the light go there? Does my light go there? How far do I bring my tripod? It was strange to say the least. You're back in my bed with me. So today I'm going to be taking a look at the Glossier cloud paints. I have never used Glossier before. I've never had any of their products, but I've seen so much about them over Instagram and TikTok, especially for people that like a more natural, like dewy look. I myself always go like full coverage, quite matte because I have kind of oily skin. Like, I don't really experiment too much with natural makeup. I'm pretty much all or nothing. But over Black Friday they had a cheeky little discount code, so I thought I'd give them a try. I've also been wanting to try and find a blush that I like for a long time. Now I know I complain a lot on my channel about having quite rosy cheeks, but I'd quite like to have a more controlled rosiness when I go for like a full coverage look, because I always think it looks so nice on other people. I've tried powder blushes before and I've never really had much luck. I usually end up looking a little bit crazy, so I thought these would be really good to try because they're made for more natural looks. I knew they weren't going to be too full coverage too quickly, but I've seen that you're able to build them up, which is really cool. Like I said, I picked up my Glossier cloud paints on Black Friday, so I got a little bit of money off, but normally at full price they are £15. The first thing I was a little bit surprised by was the size of them. I didn't necessarily think they were going to be huge, but I thought they were going to be a little bit bigger. Like, every time I've seen people holding them in pictures and stuff, I always thought they were going to be just a little bit bigger. That was obviously just my misinterpretation. I did pick up 3 different shades, so I have Spark, Beam and Dusk. So they come in these cute little boxes, but I'm just going to take them out so you can see them a bit better. So this first one that I've got here is Beam, and as you can see it just comes in a cute little tube like that, which I think is quite nice. But yeah, I don't know why, I just sort of thought they were going to be just a little bit bigger, but still cute, nice little size, especially if you're on the go, like travel, if you're in someone that likes natural makeup daily, if you're like on your commute to work or anything like that, it's easy to just pop in your bag and dab where you want it. The next one I have is Spark, which we can already see is a bit darker, it's a bit more of a red tone. And then I have Dusk, which is a bit more of a nudie tone, a little bit more neutral. So I sort of opted for a bit more of a neutral tone, a bit more of a pinky tone, like pinky peachy tone, and a bit more of a reddish tone. That's just going off the packaging. I did look a lot at the swatches that were on the website, and I'll do some swatches for you now. Obviously I was quite nervous to try these because I'm not a huge blusher person, but it's obviously something that I want to get into. So I was quite nervous to find the right shade for me. Now, Dusk I got because I've seen someone on Instagram say they use it in a bit more of a bronzy way. So they sort of place it where their bronzer would go. And I thought it looked really nice. I've also used Dusk already. I have actually got a little bit on now. I just didn't want it to overpower the blusher one that I'm going to try today. So I've just done a little bit. So I'm trying to go for a little bit more natural vibes, but I am a full coverage girl, so you're probably watching this like that is not natural at all, and you would be right. But I normally put a lot more bronzer on than this, but I didn't want to put any powder bronzer over the top just so you can see what it sort of looks like. So just here I have a little bit of Dusk on. I also didn't put too much to build it up with a lot of pigment, because when I use a blush I didn't really want it to drown it out. Yesterday I went out for dinner and I used Dusk as a more bronzy colour and did put a little bit more powder over the top just to amplify it a little bit more, but Dusk definitely makes a really nice natural bronzy colour which you could wear with no makeup. Like, I genuinely think you could just have this on the skin just to give a bit of a bronzy glow, or over foundation if you are quite fair, or if you just want a really natural sort of bronzy look. It's not intense like most typical bronzers would be. I know when I put on my normal powdered bronzer, which I feel very naked about today, I normally go quite heavy on my forehead and my cheeks to give like a really sort of intense bronziness, but this definitely creates a more natural look, which is really nice. So Dusk is definitely a winner in my eyes. I am really hopeful that these are going to be good for blush. Like I said, I have used powder blushes before and haven't always had the best results. I often find powder blush really sort of difficult to sort of blend. Maybe that's just me. These are a liquid gel vibe, so I'm hopeful that they'll blend a lot better. So now I'm just going to take some swatches on my wrist. I have not actually seen Spark or Beam in action yet, so you're going to be getting my real-time reactions from this. The only thing I did learn from Dusk is that a little squeeze goes a long way. Like, quite a lot of product comes out at once. Now, like I've already mentioned, it is fairly sheer, like it's quite buildable. Like I mentioned, they are quite sheer to start off with, but you definitely can build them. Now, I am not a makeup artist, so hopefully my swatches will be good enough, but what I'm trying to do is do a thicker bit at the top and then spread it out a little bit so you can see how it sort of looks if you build it out compared to if you don't, if that makes sense. So we have Beam, Spark and Dusk. Now, I do apologise, I'm not the best for swatching, but as we can see, Dusk comes out quite nudie beige. I did put a lot of Dusk on by accident. A little squeeze of that tube literally goes such a long way. I found that I kept squeezing out too much product, but I was only pushing lightly, so do try and be careful because you obviously don't want to waste any. So with Dusk, I have used some of the excess underneath, so you can see that it's a little bit more sheer there compared to where there is much more product. And I've tried to do the same with these two here. So Spark, you can see, starts off more pigmented and goes a bit more sheer. So if you build it up, it sort of looks like that, and if you don't, it sort of looks more like that end. And then Beam, I've tried to do the same as well. I think today the one that I'm going to test out on my face with the makeup that I've already got on is going to be Beam. I do like the look of Spark, but it is quite red, which I was kind of worried about. Every time I've looked at liquid blushes, they are often quite pigmented red, and that does scare me a little bit. I had a Benefit lip tint that was also good for cheek tint as well, and it just didn't work out the best for me. I was considering doing one on either side, but I think I'm just going to stick with Beam today. Red, I will build the courage to use eventually, but today I'm going to go Beam because I just want a bit of a soft naturalness, and I've got other things to do today, so if I do one on each side, I'm going to look like a clown. Enough of me yapping on now, let's test it out. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit to the back of my hand. It says on the back of the box that the best way to apply it is to put a little bit on your finger and dab it straight on. I, however, have seen a lot of people using a stippling brush, so I'm going to try it on one side with a stippling brush and the other side with my finger. But I know it's going to happen. I'm going to end up doing both. That's what I ended up doing with Dusk. I started with my finger, then let the stippling brush take over, and then carried on with my finger where I felt it needed it. Okay, so I'm just going to take my stippling brush and dip it in. I don't want too much. I am terrified because I've had many bad blush experiences. Okay, that is pink. That is very pinky. I like to drag blush up a little bit to where my highlight sort of goes, because otherwise I find it just weighs down my cheeks a little bit much. I don't know how well you can see that on camera. I can definitely see it a lot more in person. It's there, but it's very sheer at the moment. Now, I could definitely build this up. It is definitely giving a lot more of a natural pinky tone right now, but before I even think about building it up anymore, I'm gonna try putting some on my finger and doing the other side with my finger. Now we can see that. Now, I do like to drag my blusher up a little bit. It's just how I like to do it when I wear it. You might not like that, and that's fine. Everyone likes their makeup differently, but I like to drag it up a little bit. I'm not sure which I prefer. I think with the stippling brush, it's definitely a little bit, not messier, but it covers a bigger surface, because obviously my finger is a completely different size to that brush. I think what probably would have been a better idea is to do this like with my finger, and then to buff out any parts that I find a bit harsh. Like so. I can't decide if I like that or not. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to build it up anymore because I'm looking and I feel very pink at the moment. I think what will be a good idea is to just clean it up a little bit. I think where I've not put any other bronzer on apart from that dusk colour as well has maybe let it overpower a little bit. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I've tried to keep it subtle. I really don't want to look crazy like blush cheeks, but I think it adds a nice sort of pinky tone. I do like it, but I wouldn't say I love it, but I kind of think I just need to get used to using blusher. I love the consistency of all of these, like the way that they feel on the skin. It's very light and it's buildable, which is really nice. It's not too intimidating. A lot of liquid blushes are intense really quickly. I do, however, think Beam is maybe a little bit more pinky than what I am used to. But then again, I'm not really used to blush. So I kind of want to try Spark, but I don't feel like putting it on top of a pink blusher is going to do me any favours right now. But it's definitely going to be much more ready, as we saw from the swatches. And I absolutely love Dusk, like I said, as a more natural sort of blush bronze vibe. Maybe I need to just carry on using Dusk for a bit longer and then slowly push myself to Beam and then eventually get to Dusk. Obviously it completely depends on the makeup look that I'm doing. Today I've literally just done my base eyebrows mascara. I haven't done eyeshadow how I normally would, and I hadn't put any bronzer on before doing this either. I had powdered my face beforehand as well, I forgot to mention that, which some people are probably like, no, my god, creamy liquidy things on top of powder. No, but I don't think it's affected it at all. I think the application of it was fine on top of powder, especially because you're just dabbing it on. I saw some people recommending online doing it first and then putting the powder over, made a really nice finish, and that is what I done with Dusk. I put it on top of my foundation and then I used my translucent powder over it. I'm just trying to look at myself in the viewfinder. In this mirror it feels a lot more pigmented than I'm seeing in the mirror, but I'm not really like mad at it. I don't think I am obsessed with Beam and I want to use it every single day, but I'm not mad at it, and I think maybe it's just going to take a little bit of getting used to. So I'm definitely going to carry on playing with these in the future. I 100% recommend these cloud paints. I think they're so cute and so fun, especially if you're really into blushes, or if you're not and you're just really into makeup and you'll try some out. I highly recommend Glossier. I think they're quite well priced. Like I said, I kind of thought they were going to be bigger, but I think they're well priced for what you get, and the quality of them is really nice. Like I've said a few times now, my favourite thing is the fact that you can build them up. So if you want a more natural look, you can have that, but if you want more pigment to it, you can do that as well. So it's quite flexible. I think they're a great size as well for people that like a natural look for every day, like going to work or to school, whatever, so you can just be on the bus or the train and just be dabbing it on, doing it. I do wish I could do a more natural look of just one of these and some mascara and call it a day, but I just can't. I've tried and I can't. I'm really an all or nothing girl. Daily, like when I go to work at the moment, because we're wearing masks every day anyway, I literally just wear mascara and that's it. And all of Glossier's campaigns and like advertisements are all very natural, like dewy looks. But I think even for a full coverage girl, they work. So yeah, that is my little demo review on the Glossier cloud paints. I know I'm not a makeup artist, so probably not really my place, but I thought as an average everyday girl, got some cheeky Black Friday deals, I'll let you know my thoughts. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe and like, and I will see you in the next video.